Hey, it's Sean and Mike, brew-shoes.com. We have a SMaSH beer to taste and talk about. And if you're new to the series, this is how we put these SMaSH beers together. They're a 1 gallon batch, and we use 1 malt and 1 hop. And this particular beer has Triumph hops. We're feeling victorious and we're brewing with Triumph hops. Okay, all the SMaSH beers we brew, unless they're specified as different, and this is not. This is a 1 gallon batch. It's 1 US gallon, 3.78 liters, with 2 pounds of base malt. This base malt was raw, 2-row pale malt, and 2 gallons of water. I used 1 ounce or 28 grams of hops to brew and to showcase the hops. Typically the hop additions are as follows: 1/4 ounce or 7 grams with 15 minutes to go in the boil. Second hop addition is 5/8 of an ounce or 14 grams at flame out. And then the last addition is another 1/4 ounce or 7 grams at day 3 of fermentation. After mashing for 150 degrees Fahrenheit or 63 degrees Celsius for an hour and boiling for an hour, fermentation happens over the course of 10 days at 68 degrees Fahrenheit, 20 degrees Celsius, using Safe Ale US 05 yeast, about 1/3 of the packet, or 4 grams. Of course, I'm not measuring. It's all by eyeball and all by feel.
We trust your eyeballs.
But I can still see. So that is that. So this is Triumph hops. Typically what I do is I have Mike drink it, and then I look up on the old internet. I'm going to make sure I go to the Yakima Valley Hops webpage for Triumph hops, and we'll talk about what the actual descriptors are for this hops. But so, after taking a few sips, Mike, what are you pulling out of this particular SMaSH beer?
On the aroma, I 100% get basically the very first impression I got, the very first sip was like Apple Jacks. Like that, like there's that aroma that comes right out of the box of Apple Jacks, or even Fruit Loops, but not quite as citrusy, fruity as Fruit Loops. It's really more that Apple Jacks thing. But that's not to say it's apple.
Yeah,
that's the aroma I get.
Apple Jacks. That's
the aroma I get. But then when I tasted it, there's something I want to say, but I'm gonna hold off on that. It's but what I really get is some green grape and maybe a little bit of wildly underripe or really muted pineapple, maybe like underripe green melon of some sort. But in my mind, I'm seeing like the green grapes thing is there. But as far as the bitterness, the hop bitterness comes, it's pretty smooth. It's a little bit like tangy, like not to say acidic, but like bright. And I get a little bit more of that juicy fruit, Apple Jacks type of flavor component.
Yeah.
Maybe now that's warming up a little bit in my palate, maybe there's a little bit of like a raspberry, like a berry fruit type of thing, not strawberry, but like maybe like a red raspberry type of thing. The one thing that does jump out at my mind, I'm getting a little bit of sulfur in there too, actually. And the other thing that's there, which is probably, I'm getting a little bit of that lychee thing.
Okay.
So
was that what you wanted to say?
That's what I wanted to say.
You wanted to say lychee.
But I wanted to see if I could work my way around it without going right to the lychee.
Target the
but
lychee.
It wasn't the very first thing I got to. It was just after sipping it several times, that green grape lychee thing is there. So I guess I'm gonna stick with for 400 points. I'm gonna stick with the that green grape Apple Jack combination. Maybe a little bit of pineapple or melon, or I'm just gonna throw descriptors at it until I win.
Well, the funny thing is, like the fruits are like, it's nondescript for me for the fruits.
Yes,
but like
it's fruity.
It's fruity.
Like, we should first say that, right? It's fruity. It's not floral. It's not herbal. It's not.
So like on the so when you said Applejack and I was sniffing it, like underneath it all, there's still a little spiciness. Like
maybe that's part of the sulfury thing I'm getting.
Maybe that's what it is, because that's what I'm getting on the aftertaste. It's almost like
maybe that's my spritzy thing.
A typical like noble hop sort of herbal spiciness. Like, I'm not saying it's noble in its flavor profile, but it's certainly like there is a like an angle of that in this particular.
It's subtle,
house.
but I can see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Now that I forced a little like retro nasal, yeah, I get it.
All right, so this is Triumph's parentage. It starts with this. East Kent Goldings, Brewer's Gold, Nugget, and Hallertauer Linterfleur. And its noble genetics are definitely present, making it the perfect lager hop.
Oh man.
Okay, that's a start, which I don't know.
I don't know.
But then it goes but. Triumph has also found a home in fruit-forward ales and IPAs due to its bright aromas of lime, orange, and peach.
Yeah.
Triumph is more delicate than other fruit-forward varieties, but still robust enough to be used in a wide range of styles.
I'd be afraid to put this in a. I'd be afraid to have this in a lager if it came across tasting like this.
Yeah.
Because then I would say
Bubblegum, something's going
or
on.
I'd be acetaldehyde, right?
Yeah.
I'd be saying green apple.
Yeah,
right.
No, I hear you.
So that would be what I'd be drawn to, and then I'd have to really slow down and think about it if that's really what I was tasting. You know, I can sort of dig in there and understand the noble hop lineage and character to it. But to me, the first thing I have to go with like the gut right away was that Applejack thing.
Oh, yeah.
So there was a fruit component right away.
Yep.
And then it sort of mellowed out into like a smoother green grape lychee type fruit.
Yeah.
Which, you know, is somewhat nondescript.
Yeah. I mean, what about those, like, a lot of citrus describe, like, it's like peach and lime together.
Yeah. You know, when they say peach, peach is a fairly sulfur-forward fruit. I mean, maybe that's a little bit of the, maybe I just can't get my mind off of the Applejack thing to pull the peach out, and that's what I'm getting the sulfur.
Yep.
So it's pleasant. I mean, it definitely works for me. I would think about putting this in my back pocket as something to pair with something else somewhere along the way, but it's pretty delicate.
Yeah. So
you know, I would go into the SMaSH Chronicles and figure out is there something else that's just as delicate that I'd pair it with, right?
And that was going
and
to
see if
my
I
next
couldn't
question.
get a 1 + 1 being 3.
So the last hop we tried,
Yeah.
which was the French, was it the Barbe Rouge?
Barbe Rouge.
Barbe Rouge.
Yeah.
That was a delicate hop. What about that?
But more pronounced than this, I think. A little
Yeah.
bit more definitive than this. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that one.
They might play well together. I think I like the Barbe Rouge on its own. I don't know if I would stand this on its own. Certainly not in a lager, but I wouldn't. I don't know. So yeah, but maybe in with a really expressive like English yeast character of some sort. But maybe there's a fine line being walked there that would just maybe those esters would just ruin it. I don't know. But
All right, so that's Triumph hops. This is from Yakima Valley Hops. This is the 2020 crop. Exclusive lot, it says. At 10.7% alpha acid. So not that high, and it's, you know, I would say not that high. I mean, 10% or 10% is, you know, good.
it's definitely good.
Yeah, some of these are like over 15, almost 20.
Yeah.
But another delicate hop for your mixing pleasure, I guess. We liked Barbe Rouge a little bit more. It seems like that was a little more easy to decipher in terms of its flavor profile. This one would be nice to pair. And try to pull out those peach flavors. Everyone's looking for the peach flavor.
Yeah.
But I think this was a little too delicate. Maybe like 4 times the amount.
Yeah, right. Oh, that's the other thing too that we don't have in these examples, right? Is well, what if you really plowed into it? What if you went to like IPA levels amounts, right, and said, all right, I'm going to drop 4 ounces into my 1 gallon batch, right? I'm going to do it all at flame out,
at
right?
that ratio.
Yeah,
right,
exactly.
Yeah. All right, so that's the latest SMaSH beer. Try Triumph hops. Certainly an interesting one, especially if you like sugar cereals from your younger days. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up. Subscribe to our channel because we do this every single week. For John and Mike, brew-news.com, brew on.
Cheers.